about to be sitting here all hunky-dory with somebody who keep hosing me down when I'm trying to abide by their rules and not smoke inside or by their kids. Like, we not friends. We not cool. Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Janae, if you didn't know, and today's video is another true crime episode. So if you're ready, let's go. Alright y'all, so before we get into this story, let me just tell y'all how much of a crybaby I am right fast. Okay, so my youngest son, he is in the 1st grade. He had an awards program yesterday, and my oldest son, who is in 5th grade, he had an awards program today. And y'all, tell me why I cried. Like, not only did I cry when my kids got their awards, but I cried before my kids got their awards. I cried during the pre-ceremony. So there was this little girl who was singing Girl on Fire, and I cried while she was singing. Like, both times. Mind you, I seen the same little girl sing the same song yesterday, and I cried again today. Like, why? Why am I like this? I just wanted to let y'all know that I'm a crybaby. That's all. But don't get it twisted though, because I'm really only soft for my kids. So... But anyways, y'all, let's just go ahead and jump right on into today's case. Don't forget to let me know what y'all guesses are in the comments, because we still doing Mystery Week. So Cynthia Cdebaca was born on February 11, 1951. And there's not a lot of information about her childhood, about her growing up. There's really actually no information online about her childhood or her life prior to this case. So we're going to start in 2014 when she was 63 years old. And by this time, her husband had passed away, and she was living with her daughter and her son-in-law, Laura and Jawar Estacio, in their home in Fallbrook, California. Now, this is an upscale gated community. Like, these are some nice houses. They some like really, really nice houses. If I can find it, I'm going to put a picture of their house on the screen. Like, look at this house. Look at their house. And if y'all can see it, it has a granny flat or like a guest house attached to the main house. And so this is the part of the house that Cynthia was staying in. So she had her own little section of the house, but nonetheless, she was living with her daughter and her son-in-law. Now, Jawar was in the military reserves, and he worked as a real estate agent, and he also coached a kids rugby team. And being one of 8 children, Jawar made a really good life for himself. And in 2001, he would marry Cynthia's daughter, Laura, and the two of them would have 2 kids together and settle in Fallbrook. Now, I don't know when he came to stay with them or if he had been living with them the whole time, but Jawar actually had an older son prior to meeting Laura, and he would be living in the Fallbrook home as well. And so this was the dynamic of that household. Laura, Jawar, and they 3 kids when Cynthia would move in after she had suffered a stroke. So now there's 6 people living in this house. Not to say that there's not enough room for 6 people to be living in this house. I mean, Cynthia has her own part of the house, but as you can imagine, that's a lot of different personalities still under one roof, no matter how big the place is, right? And for 2 of these family members, it wasn't enough space. Physically, yes, but the fact that they had to be together, it was kind of like, And those 2 family members were Jawar and Cynthia. They did not get along at all. They were complete opposites. Like, this wasn't no opposites attract type of situation. It was opposites repel in this situation. Because Cynthia, she was more of a laid back type of person. She was super chill, like, go with the flow, do what you do. Don't really bother me none, right? But Jawar, on the other hand, he was a strict disciplinarian, like straight to the facts, straight to the point, probably a little bit blunt at times. And he was just a very strict, ruly individual. And Cynthia and him butted heads because of this. Because Jawar would parent his children the way he wanted to parent his children, and Cynthia would have a problem with that. And so Cynthia will often let the kids pretty much get away with stuff that she knew Jawar wasn't gonna like, and he had a problem with that, which I understand. It's like, these is my kids, they your grandkids, but you're not about to come in here and parent my kids in a way that I don't believe in. You know what I mean? Like, so I understand that aspect, but at the same time, it's like, what are grandmas for? They gonna let the grandkids do whatever they want to do because it's their grandkids. They always go soft with the grandkids. But Cynthia not only had a problem with the way Jawar parented the kids, she also had a problem with the way she felt that he treated Laura. She felt like Jawar was just an abusive individual. She felt like he abused Laura and the kids. And just like most mothers, I ain't gonna say all mothers because some moms be wilding, but just like most mothers, when somebody is abusing your child, you naturally don't like that person. You naturally want to beat their ass, right? And so that was kind of like the sentiment that Cynthia had towards Gerard. Now, for Gerard towards Cynthia, not only did he not like the fact that she was so lackadaisical with the kids and let them get away with a bunch of stuff, he didn't like the fact that she was a smoker. He didn't want her smoking in the house, nor did he want her smoking around the kids, which, once again, completely understandable. And so in an effort to, like, I guess kind of abide by the rules, Cynthia will often go smoke outside. But when she did this, she would often be hit with a blast of water. So if Jawad was outside while Cynthia was smoking, he would literally hose her down, like spray her with the water hose and soak her up. And he would be like, well, where there's smoke, there's fire. You know what I mean? Like, so he got to put the fire out type deal. And it was kind of like, sir, don't be a dick. So between the two of them, like, you can just imagine the tension that was built up in that household. Like, I'm not about to be sitting here all hunky-dory with somebody who keep hosing me down when I'm trying to abide by their rules and not smoke inside or by their kids. Like, we not friends. We not cool. And we all know that pressure bust pipes, and baby, it was about to explode. With the tension that was built up in that house, it was about to go up in flames. So on February 11, 2014, which was Cynthia's 63rd birthday, multiple neighbors will be calling the cops to report shots fired at the Estacio residence.
Sheriff Communications Dispatcher number 10, may I help you?
I've never shot a gun in my life, so I'm not an expert, but I'm sitting here in my house and I heard 4 or 5 discharges.
There were multiple calls being made.
Hi, I was in my bathroom doing my hair, and I could hear what sounded like gunshots, and I opened my window, and I hear it sounds like a man saying, help me, help me. I just heard the shot.
And in these 911 calls, you could literally hear the gunfire.
Another gunshot. Another shot.
I hear it.
Another one.
3 more, okay.
So when officers arrive to the scene, they find Jawad Estacio dead from multiple gunshot wounds, and nobody else is at the house. So while they was at the scene, police ended up finding out that Jawad's oldest son, who was 18 at this time, he was a recovering drug addict. And so they wanted to locate and talk to him, but they also wanted to locate and talk to Cynthia as well, because she was supposed to be at the house too. So they didn't know if she was hurt and injured. They didn't know if she was kidnapped. They really didn't know what was going on. But a couple hours later, they would find Cynthia. She was fine. She was all right. And she was at a coffee shop just chilling, enjoying her birthday. And so they brought her down to the station just to question her a little bit. And when they told her that Jawad had been killed, she started to cry. But it really didn't sound like she was crying, though. Not to me. It kind of sounded like she was trying to cry, but it sounded like she was laughing. But either way, that cry dissipated real quick. When the investigators asked what she thought about him, she was like, she gave a big thumbs down and was like, no, she didn't like him. And the reason that she said she didn't like him, she said that he was mean and abusive to not only Laura and the kids, but to her as well. And he was just mean to everybody, and she did not like him. And shortly after that, she admitted to being the one who shot Jawad. Now, according to her, she and Jawad were supposed to go to his daughter's spelling bee. And when she came out ready to go, you know, she pumped, she ready to go, she excited, it's her birthday. Her granddaughter about to kill it in the spelling bee, and Jawad stopped her like, you can't go like that. And in her words, he said, you can't go like that. You look ghetto in this. And so that pissed her off. That was like the straw that broke the camel's back for Cynthia. And so she went to go get her gun, and she shot Jawad 5 times. Now, the thing about it is, Jawad never even seen these shots coming, because the first 5 shots hit him in the back. But miraculously, he was still alive, and he tried to, you know, muster up whatever strength he did have to get away from Cynthia. But Cynthia decided that that wasn't enough. She didn't kill him, so she was not done. And so she walked to her car, reloaded the gun, and walked back to where Jawad was, trying to get away from her, and shot him 5 more times. And Jawad, he was still trying to get away from her. And once again, because Jawad was not dead, Cynthia walked back to her car. And by this time, Jawad had already, I think, made it into the house and closed the door and locked it behind him. But, you know, he's weak. He's not like, this isn't happening quickly. He's not just running and locking the door and you know, being able to do this all very quickly. He's drained of energy. He's losing blood quickly. He's stumbling and like damn near crawling. But Cynthia comes back after reloading again and shoots Jawad again. In total, she shot 15 bullets, and 12 of those 15 bullets hit Jawad. Now, after killing Jawad, Cynthia didn't let that stop her day. She actually went on to celebrate the rest of her birthday. She went to Denny's, she went to the casino and played for about 2 hours on the slots, and then she went to that coffee house where she was eventually picked up and brought into the station. And after her confession, the detectives allowed her family to come in to pretty much just say their goodbyes because they knew that she was about to go to jail. And so when her daughter came in, you could see that her daughter was visibly distraught. She was crying. It was really sad. But the saddest part was when her granddaughter came in and she like tried to reach her arms out and told her, you know, come here, give your grandma a kiss. And Laura and Jawar's daughter was like, no, you killed my dad. It's like Cynthia didn't think about the consequences of her actions before she killed Jawar. Like, no, you don't like him, but that is your daughter's husband. You've taken away your grandchildren's father. And I pray for his oldest son because, like I said, he was a recovering drug addict. I hope that the death of his father did not cause him to relapse. Like, oh my God. She didn't take none of that into consideration before she did this. So after her confession, she was charged with first-degree premeditated murder. And she pled not guilty, so she went to trial. And it came out during trial that she went to the gun range 2 weeks prior with the gun that she used to kill Jawar to get target practice. She ended up being found guilty and was sentenced to 50 years to life in prison. And she was 66 years old at this time, so really that means she ain't never getting out of jail. Because 50 years plus 66, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, she'll be over 100. She'll be over 100 years old if she lived that long. You know what I'm saying? Like, she ain't never getting out of jail, really, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, y'all, that is all I have for today's case. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave your guesses in the comments about what y'all think the theme of this week is, and I will see you all in the next one. So, Cynthia Cdebaca. Why I skipped the C? Maybe because it looked like it should be skipped. Of course my camera is about to die. Of course it is.